And all right. My car's dirty. It's okay. Long time no see. About like 10 months now, I think. Dude, I've made a few YouTube videos and like I'll go to edit them and then I just like won't like them, or I won't like the vibe of it, I won't think it's good enough, and I just don't post it. So I will be posting this one because I really do need to get started on YouTube. Not even just like for fucking the sake of posting, but I just imagine how cool it would be to look back on this in years from now, you know, regardless of how my bodybuilding career goes. But eventually I could like show my kids this and be like, this is what your dad was doing when he was 21. But fuck, man, yeah, I mean, a lot can happen in 10 months, right? I did very good at the show. I was probably the only natural in my classes, and I got first in novice and I got third in the open. It was amazing, man. Honestly, like it just fortified my love for bodybuilding. Like, you know, I always knew I'd be great, and it was like a deep feeling in my heart that I'd be great. But realistically, with bodybuilding, you don't know until you compete. You don't know until you get to that 5% body fat mark or whatever I was, and you just don't realize like how hard it's gonna be. You know, a lot of people just don't have the grit for it. My friend Ben did the show with me. He looked amazing. He killed it, but he just didn't like the process. He didn't like the bodybuilding process, and that's okay. He decided it's not for him. Now he doesn't bodybuild anymore. He's just chilling in Colorado. I love Ben, man. But I really did love every second of it. I loved being up on that stage. I loved showcasing my hard work. So after that, I hopped into like a heavy bulk. Dude, from May to August, I went from 171.8 at my lowest to 220 in the morning. After that, I chilled it out for a little. And then in like November, I think it was, I started a mini cut. I used Retta. I thought I was taking 0.4 milligrams. I was taking 2.4 milligrams. One thing I'll say about Retta is I would not use it for a prep, but for a mini cut, I think it's amazing. Because, you know, I really did lose a lot of fat. Not just water, not just inflammation. It was a lot of fat lost. And it set me up in an even better spot to push more growth. So I started growing again. I've been pretty much bulking since the end of December now, I want to say. In the morning, I'm like 219, 220 right now. I'm pretty chud. I'm pretty chunky, but it's okay. I don't mind being fat in the off season because I know I'm going to come in shredded for my show. Right now, the current plan is November. I really think I can win the overall by November, as long as I keep everything locked in, keep my training right, keep hitting my macros, my meals. Lots of big things planned this year. I'm still with Auspicious, but I've been working with this new brand, Juiced. I love Juiced, man. It's such a family. I love all the guys on the team. I love all the guys we're about to bring onto the team. We just went to Tampa in January, signed my boy Justice, and then we're hopefully gonna sign my boy Aiden for the Arnold in March in a couple weeks. I really think Juiced has the potential to go to the moon. It's a hardcore bodybuilding brand by bodybuilders for bodybuilders, and all of us pitch in to make this work, and I'm just so grateful to have a team like that. I am working with Nutrex now. They hit me up a couple weeks ago actually, and their shit is fire and it's affordable. So if you want to pick something up, it's code AIDEN. I think it gives a 20% discount, and this free is loaded. I think this free is like $30, $35 before a discount. You're not beating that with any supplement company. So many supplements are so overpriced nowadays. Like, I really did like Infinite's products, but it was so hard to sell because, bro, realistically, from a small brand, who's gonna buy a $70 pre-workout? Nobody. So I'm really thankful for the Nutrex team for bringing me on, and the owner Sean has been getting me absolutely right. But today we got a little pole action. We're gonna head to Jacked, and we're supposed to be lifting with Henry. His ass has not responded yet. We're supposed to go at 5:30. It's 5:30 right now. Trying to think of anything that I might be leaving out. First juiced meetup in June. I was getting back into powerlifting a little after the bodybuilding show. And man, the first day of the meetup, I deadlifted a little 6 plates just for the clips. Moved easy. I've been landscaping as my main job, so I kind of fucked my finger up, and I think my lower back was overcompensating for my grip a little because of that. But basically, what I think happened is, you know, I deadlifted. The next day I did shoulders and arms, and I did dumbbell overhead press, and you know, I was getting really strong again, but my joints weren't really caught up, so that's more stress on my lower back. The next day was leg day, and man, I did quad extensions, I did hammy curls. I was feeling amazing. Like, I was genuinely feeling good. And then I started warming up on heel elevated high bar squats, and that was pretty much the death of me. I can't remember which discs I herniated, but when I went up to 365 for my warm-up, like, it's literally a warm-up. I've squatted 6 plates before, 585, and I felt 2 things in my lower back just kind of like pop, and I literally just collapsed to the floor. I was calling the team over. I was like, I'm fucked. That night I went I smoked a whole bunch of weed, took a whole bunch of ibuprofen just to like make myself fall asleep, took melatonin too. And then I was finally able to like limp up the stairs and go to bed and fall asleep. I wake up at like 7:30 in the morning. I gotta piss, I gotta take a piss. A normal morning routine. I go to get out of bed and I physically can't get out of bed. Like, I literally could not stand up. So I remember thinking, I'm like, yeah, I'm cooked. I'm so cooked. So we called the ambulance. The paramedics were absolute assholes. They get there and they're asking, they're making sure I can wiggle my toes, making sure I'm not like paralyzed and shit. And dude, I can't walk. I literally can't walk. And they're like, oh, well, we'd pretty much be just an expensive Uber, and we can't even really get you down the stairs, so if you can just sign here, like, we'll just be out of your hair, man. What? So I'm like, hold on, wait a second, like, I really can't walk. Can you guys at least help me to the bathroom, and then I can decide what I want to do? As they're helping me to the bathroom, they make me sign the release form for them to leave. So I'm just like, all right, fuck it. My friends took me to the hospital. Fucking, man, I was so cooked. They told the nurse to tell me I'm jacked, like to try and cheer me up. The nurse was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be jacked up for life. Fuck. So that was pretty chopped. My plane ride the next day absolutely sucked. Had to get wheelchaired around the airport. When I got home though, I started taking BPC and TB straight into the lower back, and it helped with the inflammation, so I was actually able to kind of walk and train again. And then it took me a little bit, but I started slowly being able to push the movements that I needed to, and started off like with hack squat. I did a lot of T-bar rows for like the thickness of my back, and I got in a really good training groove. I could bench. I hit my first 405 bench in August. And through this time, like, my back was really hurting. So I'm not turning left here. My lower back was definitely cooked, but I was just kind of powering through it. And eventually it just kind of, you know, time heals everything. And I was just kind of able to get through it. And I just hit my first stiff leg deadlift the other day. And I told myself I wouldn't even go over 315 just to play it safe. 315 felt like the bar. So I just did 405 for 2 sets of 4. It moved really easy. My back didn't hurt at all. I've been dealing with a little knee pain, but that is what it is. But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I've had to overcome this last year. Because, you know, sure, I have switched to bodybuilding, but strength and, you know, powerlifting, it's still a part of my identity. And to me, you know, nothing beats when you just walk in the gym, you're feeling good, the pre-workout's hitting, the music is hitting, and you hit a fucking PR, you hit a deadlift PR. Like, who doesn't love that? And it honestly messed with me a lot mentally because, you know, when I started getting up into the 400s on bench, I was just thinking like, man, I could be deadlifting like 700 pounds right now. But who knows, maybe that was a way of keeping me safer in the long run. But that's enough yapping for right now. I need to get locked in for the gym. I'm about like 25 minutes away, I'd say. So we got a little pull day action and we're about to get it done. Thank you guys. Hold on. Who it is? So we got Henry here. He's late as usual, but we about to get this pull day underway. Hey Kai, I'm making a YouTube video. You gotta say hi. Look at that handsome fella. I just did a set with a full stack. Henry didn't click record, so I'm gonna go again.